Liverpool are set to make a move and feel confident in their approach for the Chelsea centre back Levi Colwill. Chelsea deny any opportunity, any ability for anybody to go out there and sign him, but the stories continue to press on. We're taking a look at Onana to Man United. That will look to accelerate towards an official announcement in the coming hours, according to reports. And Arsenal fans, yes, there is stress around the Declan Rice deal, but it will happen. It will be announced. We'll be dealing into the some are calling it a delay. I just call it the process of a transfer for you. Plus, we're taking a look at Harry Kane's future with big talks happening today. Chelsea in for another wonder kid and the return of Mason Greenwood. Hit the like button, make sure you're subscribing, and turn on the bell notifications as well. Very, very important so you don't miss any of our content that gets uploaded. Get that done right now. Let's do this. Liverpool were reportedly very confident in the signing of Levi Colwill. This here from Graham Bailey in 90 Min Football says that Liverpool are ready to make an offer for Chelsea's Levi Colwill, and they are confident of being able to lure him away from Stamford Bridge. Now, Chelsea fans, what do you make of that? First and foremost, how do you feel? What do you think about the prospect of losing another very talented Cobham player? There's been outrage from some Chelsea fans this summer about the exit of Mason Mount. How do you feel about Leroy Colwill, who is tipped to be a star at Chelsea? Chelsea fans are excited about his potential inclusion within the squad next year. We know Brighton want him. We know Liverpool now want him. And when stories come out about Liverpool being confident, Liverpool making progression, typically there's truth to it. This has not been shut down yet by any big Liverpool tier ones. So I'm very intrigued to see what direction this goes in. In my opinion, this would be a terrible mistake from Chelsea. I think there is a serious player inside Levi Colwill. I really do. I don't agree that some people say he's overrated. I don't think so. I think there's a real serious talent in there. And this is something that Chelsea have got to get sorted sooner rather than later, in my personal opinion. But let me know what you think below. Staying with Chelsea, there's another report of a £35 million deal for the wonder kid Cherki here from Lyon. They value the player at 35 million. And here they rejected a bid from PSG in January for a similar amount. It's claimed that Chelsea's ideal candidate to replace Christian Pulisic is him. It says, but the French team are having financial issues, and ESPN say Chelsea's case is boosted by a strong relationship with Lyon's American owners, which helped them sign Gusto earlier this year. So there could be another young, very, very talented wonder kid, 19 years of age, on his way to Chelsea. And again, I don't know too much about Cherki. I've read about him today. Seems talented. There's a lot of good scouting reports on him. I can understand why there would be excitement surrounding a player of his profile. As you said, attacking midfield player, predominantly plays centrally, but can play on the left, can play on the right. French Algerian, a lot of excitement. But is this the age profile that Chelsea need? And I've asked this question a few times recently. Is this the area of which they should be focusing on? Or should it be slightly older players to give them a little bit more experience? Chelsea fans, let me know your thoughts below. I want to speak a little bit about Arsenal this morning. They've done the majority of their business. But still, every day, I must get about 15 to 20 DMs. Terry, why do you think we haven't announced Rice? Why hasn't Timber been announced? And I think it's a really simplistic, is it Occam's razor? It might not be Occam. Somebody's razor, right? There's a there's somebody's razor. There's like a theory of it's Occam's razor. I might have pronounced it wrong. And essentially it's the most obvious answer is often the most likely. I think is essentially what it means. I'll read it to you here. If you have two competing ideas of the same phenomenon, you should prefer the simple one. Yeah, the simple outcome. And the simple outcome here is just, I think it was announced very publicly via the journalists that Arsenal had won these races before the clubs had resolved issues. Players being on holiday, legalities being done. And by the way, sometimes these legal matters can take many, many days to complete. There was a very famous case with Man United signing Jose Mourinho as manager. We had just acquired a new watch sponsor at the club, but Jose Mourinho had his own personal watch sponsor. It took something like 4 days for the lawyers to resolve that issue. Then what happened is Man United were getting all the image rights to Jose. So then there was a situation where Chelsea still had lots of um, advertisements, lots of products in their shops on sale around the world that featured Jose Mourinho, and Man United needed that all removed. These actions are boring. Fans don't give a damn about them, but they slow down the announcement of deals. That is all that is going on with this Declan Rice situation. The medicals take a while. They're never done in the day that they claim to. They take about 3 or 4 days to get done. They do the medical, they get reviewed. It then gets sent to West Ham. West Ham review the outcome and they compare it against their previous medicals. It's a long process. All that's happened is, though, is that I think Arsenal calmed their fans down by allowing the media to realize they'd won the race, but it was not ready to be announced yet. And I think that's what's created this gap. But I think Arsenal fans have got to relax. It will be announced. He will be an Arsenal player. There is nothing to stress yourselves about. Now, I want to move on to Tottenham slightly here. They say today is going to be a crucial day for the situation surrounding Harry Kane. He will sit down for talks with Postecoglou to discuss the future of Tottenham, what he wants to happen, where he sees things going, how he feels about the football club, and of course, the manager's new plans. There is a lot of talk that Bayern Munich will again increase their bid for the England captain and go to near the 100 million mark in totality. And I know everybody has a different theory, a different opinion, a different view on what Harry Kane should do. Mine remains overly consistent, and that is that he should leave. He has to get himself away. Tottenham should also be cashing in. There is no chance, in my opinion, that with the squad Tottenham are building, let me rephrase that. There is very little chance with the squad Tottenham are building with their manager that they make the top four next season. So I don't see any financial benefit to keeping Kane and allowing him to leave on a free. It means you never get any money for him, which will mean you're even further away from buying a replacement of his quality. It's cutting off your nose to spite your face. And this is why I think it will happen. Daniel Levy is a demon in the boardroom. He drives a very, very, very hard bargain and typically gets the best financial deals possible for Tottenham. So keeping Harry Kane is not the best financial deal for Tottenham. That's why I don't believe we're going to get through this summer and Harry Kane is going to be a Tottenham player. Bayern Munich may be the front runners right now. I believe there could be a sting in the tail for Man United later on down the line. I think Man United are allowing the negotiations to play out with a different football team, a different football club, for a kind of asking price to be met. United could then sweep in. That is what I believe will happen. Now, I could be wrong. That's fan theory, by the way. I'm a fan. That's my theory. Could be completely wrong. We will get things right. We will get things wrong. But it's Harry Kane is just relaxed and watching the parade go by. Something about this deal feels like it's going to explode later on down the line this window. But give me your thoughts and give me your feelings. Now, having mentioned Manchester United, update here from Alfredo is that the Onana to Man United situation will accelerate in the next few hours. And let me just say this now. I spoke to some journalists over the weekend. They said it's done. A couple of very famous journalists. They said it's done. They said again, just like the Declan Rice situation, it's very minor details that both clubs are resolving, but the overarching deal is done. Personal terms are done. The deal is complete. There's just legalities to get over the line, and then things will accelerate. Onana will be a Man United player. He's very likely to be on the US tour that starts very, very soon as well. Again, the player himself hasn't returned to training as of yet. He's still been on his jollies himself, and there's no rush. And this is the problem. Sometimes fans are in a rush for it to be done. They want the vitriol and the celebrations and the look at my new shiny toy. And I get that. I've been there. I've done it. I feel the same about this. But we have to relax. This deal is going to get done. It's a seismic deal, as I mentioned before. Just keep your eye out for it, Manchester United fans, because it will be announced. But in other news surrounding Manchester United, there was a picture that emerged yesterday of Mason Greenwood pictured with Anthony Alanga. And this is kind of the word I would use. It sort of triggered a lot of reaction online, and there's been a lot of stories really in recent days and weeks about Mason Greenwood. What is going to happen with him? Where will he play next year? And for me, I still remain my feelings on it remain the same. I don't personally want him to return to Manchester United. I don't think it's a good. I don't think it just doesn't sit right with me personally. And I understand there are lots of Man United fans that say, well, he was never found guilty, so I would have him back. You are entitled to that opinion. We will agree to disagree on this matter. But that's what I want. And what I want and the reality of a situation are completely different. And I believe that Mason Greenwood will remain a Man United player. I believe that Mason Greenwood will go out on loan this year. And I think Man United will use that loan period to assess his behavior, to assess stories that may come out about him, his professionalism. They will also look, whether people like this or not, to see the public's reaction to him coming back and playing, especially if he goes to a team with a club with the profile of an Atalanta or someone of that ilk, where he's playing in a high-profile league where there will be media attention. They'll have a focus and they'll make a further outcome later on down the line. It's almost sort of kicking the can down the street, as it were. But how do people feel about this situation now, many months on since the announcement that he would not be going to court over the allegations made against him? Have people softened to the idea of him being given another chance, another opportunity, a chance to turn his life around and change his behaviors? Or do people still believe that being a professional footballer at a club like Manchester United is such a privileged job that you should have a certain level of behavior? There should be a moral stance here that says you shouldn't be allowed to do this job anymore. Where do people stand on this argument? I would love to know in the comment section below. But do me a big favor and hit the like button before you leave. Please make sure that bell notifications are turned on, and make sure you get across to our TikTok as well. You see the QR code on our screen now. Get yourselves across, get yourself subscribing over there. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon. Thank you.